Mike Pence, the Vice President of the United States, attended a church service with an MLK Day-themed sermon. And close to the end of it, the preacher said this.
What is the devil trying to do? Destroy the foundation. Trying to destroy the foundation of marriage. Two men can't have a baby, y'all. It's a demonic spirit that causes another woman to want to lie with another woman.
Yeah, that's right. Gay people are possessed by demons. Such a wonderful man, I guess. Anyway, so of course people weren't exactly happy about that. Because, why would you attend something like that if you don't in at least some way support it, or at the very least you just don't care that they have views like that? And of course, there's also the criticism of the criticism. In this case, an article on The Federalist. This is a very traditionalist, conservative, right-wing blog. This one in particular was written by a guy named Chad Felix Green, who is gay himself. Entitled, Gay Activists Attack Homophobic Black Minister's MLK Day Sermon. And I'm not going to read the article line by line and respond point by point, because there's a lot of stuff there's nothing really to respond to. It's just him kind of talking about it. Or talking about what organizations like GLAAD had to say. But he does have a lot of the typical right-wing arguments about this issue, and I'm going to go through those. So here's the first one. Churches don't have to conform to LGBT messaging. There's no indication the vice president knew of the sermon's content beforehand, but it remains an important question of whether he should have chosen not to participate in the overwhelmingly positive event if he had. Let me answer that question there for you. No, he shouldn't have. Mike Pence is the Vice President of the United States, meaning he has to, represent the people of the United States. And some of those people are gay. And when you are attending an event, when somebody says something like that, and you know that they might say something like that, or that they are going to say something like that, then how can you say you represent all of America? Seriously, how can you? And even if he didn't know, he should have left as soon as that happened. Instead of staying there and just going, well, whatever. Not a good look. It's not a good look. I mean, if you don't support it, why would you go? He goes on for a little bit, talking about why it's weird that they called the sermon homophobic, even though it was only one line about it. But then at the end of that paragraph, this happens. The fact that the religious congregation views secular issues from a religious perspective does not in any way make them hateful or anti. Well, this is kind of correct. Just because they view something from a religious point of view does not necessarily make it hateful. What makes it hateful is that it is a hateful view. If a religious group had similar beliefs about, say, black people or something, most people would call it hateful and wouldn't care that it's just their beliefs. If your beliefs are hateful, they are hateful, whether they are grounded in religion or something else. Truth be told, as a gay man, I do not care what the vice president, or anybody for that matter, thinks about homosexuality, especially from a religious perspective I do not hold. Do you apply that same standard to, say, Muslims? Just out of curiosity, if there was some imam preaching against homosexuality and how gay people should be executed, would you say the same thing about that? Would you? If you lived in the Middle East, in a country where being gay could get you executed, would you care about it then? Because remember, beliefs lead to actions. People don't take actions, say, based on nothing. They take them based on belief. The reason that homosexuality is, say, a capital offense in some Middle Eastern countries is simply because they believe homosexuality to be immoral. So, yeah, you should care about what they think. Because if somebody thinks that, they may not have a problem sending you to the chopping block, or the electric chair, or the gurney, or something. Some sort of execution method. Clymer, this is someone from a pro-gay group, insistence that the event perpetuates stereotypes of intolerance within the Christian church is even more astounding. That was such a stupid statement that I was speechless when I read that. You say gay people are possessed by demons, and then you wonder, I wonder why they think we're intolerant. I mean, this is something that sounds like it's from, 50 years ago or something about gay people. This isn't even the usual, oh, I think homosexuality is a sin. This is saying, there's a demonic spirit that causes it. This is like the satanic panic of the 80s. Kind of glad I wasn't alive during that time. Everything I liked as a kid was satanic. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that stuff. Anyway. How is a religion supposed to function when it expected to edit itself for the satisfaction of individuals and communities who do not wish to belong to it? Why do they care so very much? As I said before, beliefs lead to actions. Remember, there are several states who constitutionally banned same-sex marriage, and at one point, there was even a national constitution amendment to define marriage between one man and one woman. In the national constitution. Now, why do you think that is? Well, because people believe that same-sex marriage to be immoral, or that it wasn't real marriage, or something else. Anyway, their beliefs led to that action. That is why people care. I don't know why this is so difficult for people like you to understand. People care about your beliefs because if those beliefs include negative attitudes towards a certain group of people, it's only a matter of time, and it only takes one certain type of person to go do something bad based on them. Something I greatly admire about Pence is his disregard for others' opinions about his faith. Why would you admire that? Why would you admire somebody who basically is saying, I don't care what anyone thinks, I'll continue to believe what I believe regardless of what anyone says? I mean, all this is throwing all criticism out the window, and isn't this something the right constantly accuses the left of doing, the SJWs? Isn't that something they constantly accuse them of doing, as never listening to any kind of criticism? I guess it's okay when it's Mike Pence, huh? The LGBT community tramples diversity of opinion. Many in the LGBT community tend to require others to express absolute acceptance and celebration of their narrow view of themselves. How exactly is wanting to be treated equally forcing you to celebrate them? I've heard this a lot from the right, this idea that gay people are just forcing everyone to celebrate their homosexuality or whatever. No, they aren't. They want to be treated equally. And when people say things like demonic spirits cause same-sex attraction, yeah, that's not going to lead to that. So yeah, they're going to criticize you for it. And what's with this tramples diversity of opinion? You can still have your opinion. I don't think it should be illegal to express those views, and I don't think a lot of people do think that. I mean, what is this obsession with diversity of opinion? I mean, you can have your opinion. You have it right now. And this preacher can have his. And I can have mine, and Mike Pence can have his. But that doesn't mean that any of them are immune from criticism, even very harsh criticism sometimes. And if you're going to go and bash a group of people that's usually considered to be disadvantaged, because they are, you can expect criticism. And some of it may not be friendly. That's just something you gotta deal with. They choose to perceive disagreement as attacks and judge others for seeing the world differently. Okay. Let me get close to the mic. I'm gonna let you in a little secret here. When you say an entire group of people is possessed by demons, or that a demon causes them to be who they are, that's an attack. That's not just a differing opinion. Okay? We on the same page? I mean, we can talk about differing opinions, but when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to the humanity of other people, I'm not going to debate you on that. I'm just going to call you what you are. I'll let you figure out what it is. Rather than take the time to put aside politics and join together to share King's message, they reduced a service to a few mere sentences they could exploit for headlines and outrage. Or, they just criticized what he said and criticized Mike Pence for taking part in this event. I mean, what's wrong with that? The media simply refused to allow harmony among people with divergent views. Ah, yes, the old, I just have different views. Well, when your views are hateful, when your views are basically telling another group of people that they are bad just for being who they are, I mean, yeah, I guess it's a different view, but would you say the same thing to a Klansman? I mean, they have different views, but somehow I don't think you would ever defend them. If Mike Pence attended a Klan rally, I doubt you would ever defend him. But because it's against gay people and not, say, black people, you feel the need to defend him, and I don't know why. I really don't. And here's my favorite part. One of the event not highlighted or quoted in the media stands out. One of the passionate speakers who introduced Pence, praising his humility as a brother, said, "One thing I love about this man of God is if you don't know, he is one of the most persecuted Christians in America." How is Mike Pence persecuted? Seriously, how? Did he get denied a job? No, he's vice president. He didn't get denied a job. Was he denied housing somewhere? Did his parents kick him out of the house for being Christian? I mean, how was he persecuted? Because people criticize him? Because people call him mean names for taking action against LGBT equality? Like, that's not persecution. That's criticism. That's what every politician will get, no matter what they do. I mean, conservatives will criticize people for pro-LGBT actions. So, are they persecuted too? If somebody criticizes this video, am I being persecuted? If not, please let me know how Mike Pence is persecuted. That's gotta be the craziest thing I've ever heard. Taylor is the preacher, by the way. Taylor is also praised as a passionate leader, uniting his community and creating a better world. He, too, does not deserve to be reduced to a caricature of how the left views Bible-believing Christians. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. If you don't want to be reduced to a caricature of what the left believes about Bible-believing Christians, listen real close now. I'm only gonna say this once. Don't act like one. Okay? Simple. See y'all later.